Hey MGTOWs, this is Vention. I got up really early this morning and took an Uber. Actually, I went to the cash machine and then I took an Uber to the airport and got my visa all nailed down. The thing is, I could have done it. MGTOW suggested that I do that, and he knows the deal around here. If you want any information on Mexico, that's the source for you right there. Basically, he was suggesting that I go hit the airport, get the visa nailed down, then I won't have to worry about it on Monday when I fly out. I mean, dealing with government red tape is bad enough, but doing it with a departure hanging over your head, no. So I went really early and went over there, no line, just walked right up to the window. The young senorita there was very accommodating. She fixed me right up. The price was like 575 pesos. I think it's like $26 or something like that. And now I don't have to worry about it. I stapled the thing into my passport so it won't fall out. And now I don't. I'll just show the visa and I'll be done. So basically, I fly out of here on Monday, and then I get to go see Guadalajara. Good times. I highly recommend that all MGTOW. I know it's a pain in the butt, but I highly recommend that you work on getting your passport, because the thing lasts for 10 years, and you never know when you might need to leave the country for any kind of like medical issue that might be much more affordable overseas or in another country, or just the option of going anywhere in the world. Man, I can't recommend it more. Basically, MGTOW is about protecting ourselves, but it also just opens up so many options to live in ways that most men just can't even dream of. They wouldn't even begin to really get what we experience. Now, when we're young and we're in our 20s and early 20s, especially our teens, the normies, they, like my fellow mechanics, back when I was starting, when I was young, and we were all young because I was in a lower level diesel shop, because I wasn't as experienced. So, but anyway, younger mechanics were there, and they would laugh at me for not having a girlfriend or not dating. But man, I had seen my friend jailed, and I was still under trauma from that shit. And then as time went on, and I went up to more advanced diesel shops, and the mechanics were older, then it was a matter of them being all tied down to their wives or divorced multiple times, and they were just not loving it, and a lot of them would be concentrating on how much they loved their kids and whatnot, and kind of coping for the fact that their marriage was just a frigid, cold thing that just didn't even qualify as a partnership. And I feel for them, but still I had to get my digs in. Sometimes I'd sit down at the table and the break table, and I'd pick up my check and I'd say, "Wow, what are you going to do with all your money?" I know I've told this story before, and they would respond, "Oh, bills," right? And I'd say, "Oh, you're married. Well, at least you can get some action whenever you want." And then there was this outcry of pain and anguish from every mechanic around the table who was married. They just went, no! Because probably a lot of them hadn't been laid for a month. And so, yeah, I had to get my digs in, so I did. But, you know, maybe it's petty of me, but the ones, you know, they're tied down and they're just locked into this ball and chain thing, or they're paying divorce payments and whatnot. But a MGTOW, he's free, unless of course he's already paying child support. But other than that, those of us who managed to escape that whole mess, man, we are free. And the fact that, I mean, it really hit me in the airport when I was like walking through there, and I'd say, "Where's the visa place?" to the information guy, and he directed me and went right up to the window. And I was thinking, man, I can go. I was holding this visa, not the visa, but the passport, and I was thinking, man, I can go anywhere in the world with this thing. And the freedom that it offers. I mean, I've only just scratched the surface. I mean, I was kind of in shock and sort of in post-traumatic stress from that horrendous trip to Cambodia, where I fell and wrenched the living crap out of my shoulder, and the traffic was so horrible. It was like rolling the dice whether you'd live or die every time you tried to cross the street. But man, here in Mexico, it is so much like home compared to Cambodia. I'm feeling so much more at home here than I felt over there. Even Spanish, Spanish that's not slowed down for the gringo. It's so familiar because it is so close to English. There is so many English words that are just, you add a little O at the end, or and that is, it turns it into Spanish. So it's a tremendous advantage, because I'm already halfway there as far as the language goes compared to friggin' Cambodia. I'm sure they're all very nice people over there, but man, the strangeness factor, the what do they call that? I can't remember what it's called, where you just lose your shit because you're so in such an alien environment. That's not really hitting me here, but man, it hit me bad over there. I mean, maybe I'm different, or maybe it's just that Mexico is a heck of a lot closer to the U.S. than Cambodia. Probably a combination of the two. So, man, if you've got some spare time and just a little bit of spare money, I highly recommend opening up those options to you. You may not need it right now, but you might very well need it someday to have that passport. And since it lasts 10 years, I think it is well worth the time and expense to get it done. So, and preparing ahead of time, that is just a huge deal. And it's such a huge advantage. The fact that, for example, today when I went to the airport, got up early before the crowds, and went and got the visa for my passport. Now that's one less thing I need to worry about. So the only thing I need to worry about on Monday morning, grab my luggage, throw it in the Uber, and I'm off to the airport. So yeah, good times. I was contemplating another subject about money MGTOWs, like MGTOWs who make content, and they like ask for donations, and they have their channels monetized and everything, and I am not really one to judge, because I've always, for like the last 30 years, I've had a lucrative mechanic job, and now I'm Bitcoin retired. I have zero desire to monetize my channel. The closest thing I come to monetizing is my little QR code that I stick on the end so that I can basically get a high five from other Bitcoiners who have decided to gain the ability and push their abilities a little farther and gain the ability to use the Bitcoin Lightning Network. And every time I get like a 50-cent tip or something from them, it's like a high five from another Bitcoiner MGTOW. And I think that is really awesome. And I highly recommend that if anybody is not into Bitcoin yet, but I highly recommend downloading the Blue Wallet. It's right in the Play Store. And then because it has both regular mainnet Bitcoins as well as Lightning, and having them both on the same wallet is a real convenience. And cool thing is, because the Bitcoin, when the Bitcoin network gets busy, you can pay $3 fees, and that is not worth sending a 50-cent tip for a $3 fee. But if like once a month or so, or maybe once every 2 months or so, I take a couple $100 worth of Bitcoin, dump it into Lightning, and I pay one fee. Then I can make small transactions and tips for a couple of months with that couple $100 in the Lightning wallet. And the tip is like instant; it like goes in seconds, and the fee is like way less than almost any other cryptocurrency, less than Bitcoin Cash, and nobody's even using that. It's like way less than a penny, so it's basically irrelevant. So I think it's highly cool to have that capability. I think all MGTOWs should work on building out our options in the world and giving ourselves as much financial and physical flexibility as possible. And then we can like be on our feet, and when conditions change, we are 3/4 ready to jump and respond to that change. Whereas most guys, if they're not married and locked down into like into a marriage contract, they're kind of half asleep and kind of just like not really building out their lives and increasing their options. And then when they need that flexibility, it's not there for them. So whatever the consequences of it is, whether it's paying more taxes, paying more rent in a place, or having to pay full price for medical, whereas they could have gotten it for like the price of the deductible if they had a passport, and then they could go overseas. But then if they need it though, and they don't have it, then they have to wait, like they have to do the paperwork, wait like a month or whatever for the passport to come through, and then who knows, it might be too late. So having that ability and the flexibility to basically jump right then and respond to a serious problem, highly recommended. And these days you can throw so much money in crypto, and it's really safe and locked in there so hard that the TSA's anal probe can't even get it out of you, right? So basically, I can go anywhere in the world, and I don't have to, I don't have to worry about a lot of things that a lot of guys have to worry about. So yeah, highly recommend. Plan ahead, think ahead, and increase the options that you have around you. Give yourself a better toolbox to work with. That is my advice. And as far as money MGTOWs go, I was kind of wondering, because some people think that that's not cool, and that the content should come when it's really in you and it needs to come out. And that's the way I run my channel. But you will also notice that I produce a heck of a lot less content than MGTOWs who also have a financial interest in it as well. And a lot of them have like they really have MGTOW at heart, and they're really coming from MGTOW, but they also take donations. And I am perfectly okay with that up to a point. When it's obvious that they've made a video just for donations or just for the monetary reward, it can kind of fall a little bit flat. But they produce so much. They're just like little dynamos, you know, creating and creating. And I'm going to have to say I'm going to give my stamp of approval to like almost every MGTOW who accepts donation, like Hammerhand and Viking Traveler. I will give them my stamp of approval, because what they are saying really, oftentimes it really comes from the spleen, man. It's like, rah! And it's like, and I'm sitting there in front of the screen, and it's like, if I had hair, it would just blast blow back because of you know, the feeling that they put into it. And okay, stamp of approval, thump. So I'm gonna have me some coffee and a little bit of Desagino, and don't get married.